Is it stop for?
So they responded to a disturbance and they heard a vehicle rev its engine and he took off at a high rate of speed.
Vic, you ready?
Yes, Judge.
Let's roll, nerds.
Are there any attorneys here with arraignments? Last name?
Chapman is client, Billy.
All right, Judge, page 3.
Okay.
Chapman, come on up.
You are Billy Chapman. Mr. Chapman, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
On February 10th, 2025, at approximately 2:08 a.m., the officers were in a parking lot of Reno's Bar responding to a disturbance that had occurred at the business. While conducting the investigation, they heard a vehicle rev its engines multiple times, and the officers went to check on an individual inside the vehicle, but before the officers could check the vehicle, it took off at a high rate of speed, recklessly in the parking lot, and the officers called for an additional unit to search for the vehicle, and an officer responded. The defendant's vehicle circled the parking lot and returned to the scene, where the calling officer was able to initiate a traffic stop. The officers observed a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage and red glossy eyes. The defendant was placed into custody for public intoxication due to a miscommunication between the officers, and it was later determined a DWI investigation was needed. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted, HGN 6 out of 6. Walk and turn was attempted, but the defendant could not stand in the starting position and was constantly swaying. For the one-leg stand, 3 out of 4 clues were observed. The DIC was read and the defendant consented to breath. The results were 0.154 and 0.149.
Is it stop for?
So they responded to a disturbance and they heard a vehicle rev its engine and he took off at a high rate of speed. So then they attempted to get it reach that vehicle because it took off in the parking lot from what they describe a high rate of speed recklessly. And then it came back and then they make
Traffic infraction? High rate of speed is conclusory as well.
Because initially they said the officer said he observed and heard an individual revving their engines, and then they were attempting to check. They were attempting to check inside the vehicle, and that's when it took off at a high rate of speed, recklessly in the parking lot, as they describe it. And then the vehicle circled the parking lot.
All of that is conclusory. All of that.
And I understand, Judge. And unfortunately, we do not have the OR at this time, so we can, if you give us a moment, we can see if there is an applicable traffic infraction.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you a little bit of time.
Yes, Judge.
But can you give me maybe 30 minutes?
Yes,
We can
sure.
revisit.
I'm going to run somewhere else. I'll be right back.
Okay, take a seat,
Thank
please,
you,
sir.
Judge.
We'll be back with you here momentarily. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Penny, did you need me?
I'm back on Billy Chapman. I did speak to the DA and they said they're ready.
Yes, Judge. After
Ready?
looking at it, we found no traffic code violation, and we can only find the conclusory statements as you mentioned before.
Right.
So
I know probable cause. Mr. Chapman, come up, sir. I'm going to find no probable cause in your case. You have to understand, they give out DWIs like it's candy on Halloween. Do you know why? We lead the nation per capita in fatalities with alcohol-related collisions. Don't become a statistic. One button on a phone, one button, $30. An Uber will take you wherever you want to go. Use it. All right, take a seat.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you.